Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Josh, short, as in not tall. I've been with Herzog for just close to 18 years now. And first, I'd like to thank the Texas Rail Advocates and the Southwest Rail Conference for letting us do this and showing our spotlight in the rail industry. We've actually attended this conference for several years now. We have some of our people in this audience have been here. I was looking for Nicole English back there in the red. She had this idea that, hey, every year I go to this, and there's always these great presentations, and they've been growing tremendously, and I think we need to do that. So we fast forward, and here I am. What she doesn't know is that I've signed her up for next year's presentation, so congratulations, Nick. So why I'm here is to give an overview of Herzog and what we do in the rail industry. So we started in 1969. So to be correct, it's actually 54 years ago. We started in St. Joe as just a small asphalt company. And what I find interesting, because I live in St. Joe, Missouri, I can go around the community and talk to people who live there their whole lives and ask them if they know what Herzog does. And 99% of the people are going to go, oh, that's the asphalt company. Well, that is correct, but that's all they talk about. Have no idea of anything else. So I run into the same area, or same issue anywhere I go, whether it's out here in Texas or Florida or California. They may know of something that we do local, but that's it. We are a contractor, so our name isn't always plastered over everything. We work for a lot of owners and agencies, so you don't really see our name a lot. So it's I'm kind of excited to do this because it's kind of like a fun presentation. So there's probably a lot of people in the room that have heard of us, and there's probably a lot that haven't. So I'm hoping by the end of this presentation you have a better understanding of who we are and what we do and where we're at. But I figured what better place than to start right here in Texas, right? So Herzog's had a passenger rail presence in the state of Texas for over 25 years. That started on the TRE, which is the Trinity Railway, in 1996. We do provide the operations and the maintenance, the dispatch. You've heard PTC earlier, which is positive train control. We do signal maintenance. This particular line hauls about 1 million people annually, just to give a perspective on that. DART has been another big customer of ours. We've been involved in the construction on several DART light rail lines. Currently, we're building the Silver Line. That's on the eastern side of the Cotton Belt. Once we do complete this, Herzog will maintain, operate, and dispatch that line as well. TexRail, right there in Fort Worth, Texas, we provide the operations and maintenance. We do the dispatch and signal maintenance as well. We're looking at about 500,000 people per year that are hauled on that line. We can go down to Austin, Texas, where the Cap Metro is. We provide the operations and maintenance there. I mean, I could keep saying that over and over, but it's usually about the same thing. So it's usually the operations, maintenance, dispatch, signal. It's all different on different projects. That's about 200,000 annual passengers. We did the DCTA A-Train startup, same thing, building and maintaining. Kind of a fun fact about Texas, though, is we kind of added these numbers up just recently, and we look to, I think we're just over 500 people that we employ just right here in the state of Texas. So there's a pretty large presence. So what I have prepared for you next is we've created a video which gives you a real good look at everywhere we're at and what we do. And after that video is over, I was going to go over each one of the companies a little more in depth to give you just a little better understanding. And then at the end of that, we'll do questions. So ready for the video now, and then we can do the presentation after.
A professional family of more than 2,500 committed Herzog employees rise every day with the mission to innovate and pursue industry-advancing opportunities. Herzog has been a transformative force within the rail industry for over 5 decades, working and collaborating with key partners, rising to any challenge, and delivering industry-changing products and services. It all began in 1969 when Bill Herzog started an asphalt paving company in St. Joseph, Missouri. Bill Herzog's vision for the future and commitment to hard work earned Herzog a reputation as one of the most trusted names in the business. Still true to its roots as a leading highway asphalt paving contractor, Herzog has grown to be a national provider of innovative and technology-based turnkey rail services and solutions. Through 5 rail-focused companies, Herzog is the only full-service provider to the rail industry in North America that builds, operates, and maintains some of the largest passenger rail systems and freight networks across the U.S. Herzog's research and development teams continually push boundaries to engineer highly specialized rail equipment focused on maintenance of way activities, such as precision ballast placement, versatile material handling, and rail unloading. Leveraging emerging technology, Herzog transforms how the industry interacts with and manages its railroad assets. Herzog's advanced on-track inspections and surveys capture millions of data points, unlocking vital rail infrastructure asset insights through ultrasonic imaging for rail flaw detection and LiDAR sensing and GIS tools that create 3-dimensional views of right-of-way assets. Herzog's intelligent LiDAR sensing technologies also assist with real-time monitoring and hazard alert notifications to deliver increased levels of on-track safety. Herzog is at the forefront of Positive Train Control, or PTC, a specialized railroad overlay technology that monitors and enforces safe train movements and speed restrictions. Herzog provides turnkey PTC services from the front end of a project's design to field installation to back office support to achieve a fully interoperable system. Herzog is a leading construction manager and general contractor known for its ability to construct and deliver complex streetcar, light rail, commuter rail, and freight rail projects. Within the last decade, Herzog has built more than 350 miles of passenger and freight track and supporting rail infrastructure in major metropolitan centers such as San Diego, Los Angeles, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Kansas City. Once built, Herzog's job doesn't always end there. Herzog provides all functional tasks associated with the safe and efficient operations and maintenance of any rail transit system. Moving more than 36 million passengers annually, Herzog is the largest private contractor operating and maintaining passenger rail transit systems in North America. For more than 50 years, Herzog has consistently delivered elite results through a commitment to safety, teamwork, customer service, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Working hand in hand with its industry partners, Herzog continues to push the boundaries of what is possible to deliver elite results.
All right. All right, good. Now we can start this PowerPoint. I get excited about the video because it's really neat, so I'm not going to promise that my PowerPoint presentation is as neat as it, but I'll do my best. So I said I'm going to go a little more in depth, and I got to see if this is working or not. Nope. All right. So to give you a little more in depth of who we are, just wanted to go a little bit into our culture. So we have 4 common beliefs. Our first is safety without compromise. I'm sure every company on the map, safety is number 1. It is very important, especially if you just heard the last presentation. Power of the team is our second. And I got to give a shout out to our marketing person, Kelly Nye. She's not here. She couldn't attend today, but honestly, she helped put this video together and this whole presentation. So we've worked together to help each other out. Passion for the customer, that is a massive thing to us, considering we are a contractor and we have many customers all across the United States. And if you're doing all 3 of those things, that's our pursuit of excellence. So we'd just like to throw you a little page out of our culture playbook. So who are we? As you saw in the video, some of these numbers may have changed a little bit, but we were founded in 1969 as a small asphalt company. We're now a little over 2,600 employees between the United States and Canada. The maintenance of way projects, we're looking at 18 now. You can see in the alternate delivery projects completed, we're a little over $8.5 billion. Just to put something in perspective, pre-COVID, we were hauling around 36 million passengers annually. And not to be competitive or something, but just to put that in perspective, that at the same time, Amtrak was around 32 million. So it just shows you how close and the large footprint that we were covering. Do I need to point this? All right, there we go. So if you look at Herzog as one big company, and you saw in the video, we break it down into 5 separate, call it divisions. So you have a lot of acronyms I could throw at you, but I'll just go through each one as we go by the slides here. So first off, we're going to talk about HTSI. That's our Herzog Transit Rail Services. This started in 1993. We started with one project in southern Florida with Tri-Rail. Since then, we've expanded into 18 different projects across the United States, including 3 streetcar projects. That's Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and we're doing the extension of Kansas City, and then we're about to start Orange County streetcar in California. We also do the maintenance. Did I skip operations? Sorry, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'll go back to, there we go. So the maintenance, we also do maintenance. You can see on here, we got 450 plus pieces of rolling stock we maintain. We do that, we do track, electrification, signal structures, station platforms, parking lots, facilities. This is a cool picture. I like this one just because I don't expect everybody to really be able to read the words, but it just kind of gives you a visual of everywhere that we're at. This is the 18 projects that we have under Herzog Transit Services. You can see that the middle bottom is the ones in Texas. Another company we have is Herzog Contracting, where we actually do the track construction. My last 5 years I've spent in the estimating department of Herzog Contracting National Construction, which really opened my eyes to how in-depth it goes to actually go out and build track construction. So we are doing heavy rail, commuter rail, streetcar, and this is also another map here. I'll show you. You can't hardly see the words, and I apologize for that, but this was more for the visuals, just to show you across the United States where we're at, also in Canada. So we start at 1969 as a small asphalt company. I know I've kind of said that a couple times now, but what's neat about it is in the wintertime, you're not laying asphalt. And the way to offset that, Bill Herzog was trying to find a way to come up with extra work, and they found a niche in the rail industry, just local. Excuse me. And at the same time, we were doing asphalt in most of Missouri. We did do some in Texas and New Mexico, but then decided to regionalize that. We are now just doing northeast Kansas and northwest Missouri. We are currently still having some of our best years. Our best year was 444,000 tons. We're on pace to do 450 this year and even more next year, so it's kind of neat that it's still growing, but what most people from where I'm at think that's all we do, and it's a very small part of the company, so that just blows my mind to this day. But, the next part, I'll talk about the railroad maintenance of way. I actually spent 10 years with HRSI. That's where I started. I'll go over each piece of equipment that we do. This car topper was really neat because we patented this in 1977. It was the first piece of equipment that we patented. And you'll see on this, I did a little short clip video to kind of show you what this does. It'll actually set itself up on the car with an operator. Now, I know that's a short gondola car, but we can get on top of a regular size ballast car as well, as you can see here. And it can move from car to car to car. And what's really neat about this, if you think years ago, you put a couple people in a car, throwing railroad ties out. I wouldn't sign up for that job for nothing. One at a time, and imagine the amount of back injuries and the efficiency of doing that with just two people in a car. So this patent here and being able to get up there, I mean, it limited the amount of injuries. Oh, thank you, sir. Does that come some kind of sign? And it increased production tremendously. So the GPS ballast trains, this is actually where I did start with Herzog. I graduated college and I went straight to the road. And I remember my interview when they said, this is travel, and 9 months later I was in 27 states, and that's all windshield time. So I mean, travel meant travel. But what's cool about this, I'll play the clip here. We can be accurate within 3 feet of dumping GPS coordinates. What used to take several ground crew people, and it could take you weeks depending on how many miles you're going to do, unloading either on the side of the car with the manual buttons or beating on the doors. Now there's no ground personnel. You're unloading by a computer and GPS coordinates using our survey and spread program. And we do this all across the United States. We do it in Canada, and we even have a train down in Mexico. The automated conveyor train, we call it the ACT train. This is great for stockpiling and also washouts, as you'll see on this next clip. And I apologize, I was trying to remember where this was at, but you can see that is actual rail suspended in air from a washout. I want to say that took almost 2 million tons to fill that void. The multi-purpose machine. This thing's pretty dang neat. You can do the unloading, you can do cleanup, you can do ditching, you can do anything right along the maintenance or the right-of-way. You can do tree trimming. I haven't figured out how to get it to mow my yard yet, but this thing can do it all. Yes, it's another clip here. I would have put sound with this, but I wasn't sure how it worked, so maybe next time. The rail unloading machines, this, I don't know if you've ever seen one on the highway, but this can actually drive from A to B on the highway, hop on the rail, hook to a rail train, and unload a ribbon rail train. So when I say a ribbon rail train, usually a piece of rail 1,600 feet, which would be 80,000 linear feet per train. You think about that in terms of weight, it's 141 pounds per 3 feet or 136 pounds per 3 feet, depending on what you're unloading. But we do this across the United States and Canada as well. BNSF's a big customer of ours, CN and CP. Still breaking into the UP niche. This is one of our pocket CWR trains. And this is an automated tie-down car. I'll show you a little visual of this. Instead of having somebody manually unlock and lock a piece of rail, we can do it by hydraulics. I really think I'm going to add some audio next time to these videos. But that's a pretty cool visual right there. It's hard to explain sometimes, but putting these to it, it helps out. The survey platform, what we do here, and I was telling you earlier with the GPS ballast trains, I used to teach this survey program. You go out and we have we have our GPS antenna, and we literally tell our computer program where we're going to spread and where we're not going to spread. Obviously, you don't want to spread over crossings. You don't want to hit switches. You don't want to hit detectors. So we need to tell it where and where we cannot. When we take that survey, we put it in our spread program, and that's how we unload the GPS ballast train. So we do this surveying. I think I'm going to skip that one there. We also have 2 rail car maintenance and repair shops. One's right there in St. Joe, Missouri. We have one just north in Falls City, Nebraska. So we can hold several hundred cars, and we have Class 1 railroads that we maintain and fix rail car repair. One of our newest companies is Herzog Technologies. So I'm still learning about Herzog Technologies, I'm not going to lie to you, so I wrote some notes down here on this one. We're providing construction services provided for DCTA, TexRail, Brightline, which is in Florida, Sunrail's in Florida. Maintenance services provided to TRE and TexRail. Sunrail, Rail Runner, that's out in New Mexico, and Cap Metro down in Austin. Systems integration with the PTC integration, NCTD. It says that HTI and NCTD, the PCT project, was one of 4 railroads to meet the federally mandated deadline for PTC. So I was interested in the last presentation because that's exactly what they were talking about. And then our PTC operational support. Our PTC Tech and Operational Support Office is based right here in Fort Worth, Texas. We provide services for 17 railroads, which include over 80,000 trains annually operating PTC out of the Herzog Support Center right here in Fort Worth. Here's a cool little video of doing a signal and comm install. I definitely thought the videos would help for the visual. I can sit up here and try to explain it all damn day, but this seems to be very helpful to actually see it happen. So this will show you, when I talk about software development or GIS, say LiDAR, you can see going down the tracks right here, and then I'll show you a picture of what LiDAR sees. And it can actually look at the undulation in your balance line or your track and tell you exactly where your low spots are, your high spots are. And it collects this technology. And lastly, I was going to talk about Herzog services. This is our rail testing. We also do this all across the United States. We're also in Canada. I want to say we have now 50 to 60 trucks out there working. This will show you what it's actually doing. So you can see the green wheel there. It actually has a component that shoots a laser down into the rail and back up, and what it's looking for is a defect within the rail. If it finds a defect, the operator gets out and does a manual test again, and it takes that and they send that back to a home office where they have another set of eyes to look at it, and you notify the railroad to come out and fix any defect that's found within the rail. So this concludes the presentation I have. It's $20 a question. They should ask that. But since that concludes my time, I'd like to thank you for yours.